I read something very interesting, and it was from a Navy SEAL officer named Coleman Ruiz. And he talked about how most people think that with BUDS training, the Navy SEAL selection, it's all about weeding out the weak. But in reality, he mentions that only 10% of the candidates are actually dropped for failing the physical standards. Most are quitting because they're feeling like they're letting their teams down. So yeah, the training's definitely brutal. It's got the back-to-back runs, the sleepless nights over days, especially during Hell Week. It's got the drills, but he points out when you look at the standards that are required in SEAL physical fitness, some of the requirements they're not too far-fetched. So one example he points to is a 4 mile sand run on the beach within 28 minutes. When you break that down, that's a 7 minute mile on the beach. Definitely hard, but it's not like super crazy outside of possibility. Another example he points out is a 2.4 mile open ocean swim. Now, again, very, very difficult to do, grueling, but it's not superhuman to the point of like super soldier. It's something that even hobby levelist Ironman participants are going to be, doing when they enter the Ironman. I'm not saying it's not grueling. You definitely have to train for it, but it's not superhuman to the point of like only a few people on Earth can do that. So he goes on to say, like, so why do most people quit? And it's basically because of the purpose of them going into BUDS in the first place. He says that the ones who go through BUDS are more predictable to quit are the ones who are trying to prove something about themselves. They view BUDS and the whole selection process as a whole as like a giant physical fitness challenge that they want to prove themselves in. And those are typically the ones that are going to tap out first. And the ones who make it are actually the ones who actually believe in the mission, where I'm joining this because I want to serve and fight overseas. It's simple as that. So the whole point of SEAL training that this Coleman Reese talks about isn't to create a group of soldiers that look like bodybuilders and that's SEAL teams. The point of it is to forge this remarkable trust, and the way to do that is by making things so uncomfortable that only the people who actually want to be there for the right reasons choose to stay. And those who stay and are on the same page, they form an unbelievable bond that's strong enough to adapt to anything. So the whole point of the SEAL training is to make it so unpleasant that only the ones who actually want to stay for the right reason stay. And then part two is those people form an extreme bond where they become adaptable, where they don't have to wait for orders. They know each other so well that they can adapt to any situation. So great teams, they're not just built, they are built on shared purposes, and great teams are built with trust under pressure.